Welcome, gamers, to Basement Arcade Pause Me, the show where we hit pause, sit back, and just chill. I am Ben Magnet, but the reason why we're here today is not because I am the brainchild of this. Oh no, not far from it. The brainchild of this here operation is none other than my dear friend and co-host of the Fake Nerd podcast, Ryan Eliopoulos. Ryan, tell me, my friend, what are we doing right now?
Hi, hello, welcome to Basement Arcade Pause Menu. I believe we did something like this last year. During E3 times, lots of trailers for games come out, and we all love video games, and on our main flagship show, the Fake Nerd Podcast, we don't get as much time to talk about 45 trailers in the middle of a week on a regular week, so I thought for E3 week, we would take a look at about 30 games that are on the, some of them are on the lower scale, some of them, not lower scale, some of them are more indie, and then some bigger ones, but games, I'm interested in every single one of these games. I think you guys will be. I think the audience at home will find some value in watching this, see what new upcoming games are coming out. I got my friend Sparkz here, of course.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the audio listeners. I'm here as well.
Yes.
Yes. Poor Sparkz, he was just sitting there in his chair, just swiveling. He's like, I don't know when to say anything.
Listen, we were getting there.
They're going to bring me in.
We were getting there.
I'm ready. I'm pumped.
This is a brand new format, too, we're trying out.
Yeah, this is. I'm excited. But also, this is not E3 because, as we all know, E3 is not happening this year. There's no such thing as E3. But Summer's Games Fest happened. And at the time of this recording, we are still waiting with bated breath on when Nintendo's going to finally drop their Summer Direct. Because, Lordy, do I have wishes.
So it's not just Summer Games Fest. There's Day of the Devs. There's Play Days. There's Devolver Digital, which I played a bunch of demos from Devolver on my personal channel, TG Tony Snark. Lots of great stuff coming out. I was going to say shit, but there you go. I said it anyway. So why always get it?
You can say shit. You can say shit on this show. That's fine.
Shitty shit. Why don't we get into some shit and good trailers, y'all? Watch this transition. You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
Look at that production value. All right, guys, we got about 30 trailers to start with, and the first two games we're going to talk about actually came out this week. The first game we're going to talk about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this game.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Shredder's Revenge is a beat-em-up developed by Tribute Games and published by Dotemu. This is clearly inspired by the original animated show. I played 30 minutes of this today because I was waiting for you guys and I had nothing to do. So it's incredible. Truly one of the best brawlers I played in a while, and I only played the first level. It was so good.
I have seen a bunch of... So one of the reasons why this game makes me want it... One of the reasons why, just like looking at this trailer, I want this game so bad, because it's very reminiscent of Turtles in Time, the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game that people saw in Chuck E. Cheese's all the damn place. It is that classic beat-em-up style. Also, it's in that beautiful pixel art that Tribute Kent just nails, and everything that's come out about this game, it's like, I'm probably going to double dip. I'm going to get this digitally from my PS5, and I'm even going to shell out some money, pun intended, or a physical one from Limited Run, because Limited Run has open pre-orders right now. They don't end until July 24th, I believe.
You got plenty of time.
Good news is you got time. Bad news is that once you buy a physical one, you're going to have to wait a while.
Yeah.
Also, Shredder's Revenge is one of the limited run games where you can purchase it through other vendors. It's got wide release beyond just the website, which is cool. They announced online play with this, and that's got me real happy.
Yeah, 6-player co-op you can do online.
That screen is gonna be busy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, six-player co-op. 3 of the playable characters are April O'Neil, Splinter, and Casey Jones. Mm-hmm. Casey Jones was the last one who was announced. So many people lost their minds when April O'Neil was announced as a playable character.
Oh, dude.
Because normally it's just the original 4 Turtles. Now with April, Splinter, and Casey, it's just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, man.
And it's online play, and it's local co-op multiplayer. I'm like, how can I not want this game?
Right.
Yeah. And this one is out. So if you got Xbox Game Pass, maybe this one is available.
Time to play.
Next, we got Neon White. Neon White is a first-person shooter and puzzle platforming game by Annapurna. It's a single-player, speed-running first-person shooter where you sacrifice your guns for godlike parkour skills. I think this has such unique style. I think it looks great. It's part anime, part roguelike speedrunner. It looks really unique. It reminds me of Ghostwire Tokyo, which is a game that ended up not being very good, but it had a really unique gameplay hook to it, and this looks like it's that times 1,000.
Sure, good pull. I see what you're talking about the moment you said that.
Yeah, the first person spell stuff.
Yeah.
Also, the premise of this game is you're a demon who is doing God's dirty work, but once you complete the job, you can live in heaven permanently. As in, you essentially can escape hell and live in heaven, and I think that's pretty cool.
And it's like card-based speedrunner, which again, like card games are becoming more and more popular over time, and they're being incorporated into so many other genres. And there's actually a couple games we'll talk about in this Summer Games Fest thing where cards are a big deal. But I think this looks pretty cool. It's out on Switch right now, my friends.
Yeah, Steve Bloom is a voice actor in this, I believe.
Oh, I heard. What's his name? Freaking Spike. I heard him.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. We got next. We got High Water from Demagog Studios. The Earth has flooded and the planet is doomed, but there's still time to enjoy the view. This is a turn-based strategy adventure game, and Sparkz, you put this one on here. I think it looks pretty cool.
I really want to play this one. It feels like Waterworld the game with vibes.
Oh my god, that's such a Waterworld vibes. Absolutely.
I just like the idea. I think that anything that's pushing, especially in the indie department, whenever they're pushing for like things that really put a scope on what's happening in our world in cultural and global ways, I think it's always really good. And this looks like another one of those where it's just going to have a good intent behind it and good execution all around for exactly what it's going for.
Beautiful style. Despite it being, the end of the world, it looks really pretty.
Oh yeah, very. I mean, I love the aesthetic of this game. I really do. Actually, when I was watching the trailer, it kind of confused me at first because I was watching a bunch of these trailers on my breaks on my 9 to 5 job, and when I was hearing the radio, I was like, "What the heck is that I'm hearing?" Because it's very faint, and it's like the world has officially ended, but the world ended on a Sunday. I'm like,
the Lord's Day. It's pirate radio. This has a December 2022 release date, but I guarantee you it's probably going to get pushed because usually December 2022 usually get pushed. Next up, y'all, we got a game called Routine. This one is a pretty simple teaser. The interesting thing about Routine, it's a first-person shooter, sci-fi horror game set on an abandoned lunar base with 80s style, kind of like Alien. The thing about this game was it was announced 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Waypoint thing, Sparkz?
Yes, we were watching this one together.
Oh, that's true. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
What I'm really enjoying about this in particular is we started talking about this. You were talking about like space horror game, and I saw Ben's face go. He knows. He knows.
This is on the.
He'll be playing it.
This is on the Basement Arcade list.
This not just that. I was watching this trailer and I was like, I know why they put this on here. Those sons of bitches.
It's not just torture you.
It's for me, but it's also now for you. We can share this together.
I mean, this gun does look really, really cool, and also just how this game looks, like the aesthetic of like going down and like the darkness and the light. It definitely can tell us that you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times before something. I mean, we're watching the trailer here. Sorry, audio listeners, but I'll try to be as descriptive as possible. You see a robot there, and then all of a sudden you see something rustling, and it's like, what the heck is that? What the heck is that?
Big
surprise!
Alien Isolation vibes. Alien Isolation vibes for sure.
It's like the synths in Alien Isolation, but now more sinister. It feels.
Yeah.
I love how the hand was twitchy though. The hand of that robot was like twitching uncontrollably. It's like I don't like that.
Oh yeah. It is just cool that a game that was in kind of development hell for a long time was able to get picked up by Raw Fury. I believe it's Raw Fury. Yeah, Raw Fury, which is a new publisher, and they're able to scrap it up and make it real. Can't wait to play that one. Here's
That'll
one.
be out next year.
Next year? Yeah. Here's one.
I mean, there are many games that have been in development hell, but they came out pretty decent.
Yeah, and it is an indie game too, so I'm not worried about it being like a big scale problem. It just took a while to get made. Here's what I'm sure we're all excited for because we're all nerds and Marvel fans here, but I'm not going to play the music for this one because it's Metallica, and they'll sue the shit out of us even if we have no views.
We don't want to get sued by Metallica. But...
Marvel's Midnight Suns. Fight and strategize like a superhero in the darkest corners of the Marvel Universe. Play as the Hunter, a legendary demon hunter who must lead a team of superheroes and supernatural warriors facing apocalyptic threats. How do you guys feel about this one? Because this one, it's not exactly... it's for me. It's not exactly a turn-based XCOM Fire Emblem game like everyone assumed. It is more of a card game and a hardcore role-playing dating sim where you become best friends with all the Avengers. And when I saw that this is half RPG, half card game, my hype for it went to the roof. And it's not for everyone, for sure. It's definitely a different game than what people anticipated. But I love the Midnight Suns. I love the obscure shit. I love Marvel. I love tactics. So this was made for me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to grow more into the card game, into like card game, video game aspect, or I'm starting to get more interested in it. The last game that focused on cards that I remember specifically playing as a video game, but I wasn't a big fan of, was Metal Gear Acid for the PSP.
Damn, you played Metal Gear Acid, man? That's awesome.
I tried playing it. I did not get very far in it, but that once again, this was years ago, and this was back when when there weren't a lot of games available for the PSP. So that's why my parents got the only one that they had, and Metal Gear Acid was one of them.
I'm gonna get a little bit music.
But looking at this trailer for Midnight Sun,
that was all.
I want to play this. This looks. I know this is just a cinematic trailer, but this looks so cool. This looks so rad.
I was gonna have some gameplay, but a lot of the demos have a developer commentary over it, so I try to avoid those for just so things we can talk over instead of having to talk over other people talking. Right. But I am super into the combat more specifically because you're not just using cards. The environment is super usable. And you can pick things up and throw them at people. If there's like a lamp, you can toss it down. You can pick a car door off and throw it at someone. Like the environment is is as much a weapon as you are. It looks to do some really fun combo moves. And I love seeing Lilith, the Queen of Demons. Like that is like one of the most obscure Marvel characters of all time.
Yeah, I'm not put off by anything I've seen so far. It all still seems intriguing. I'm at this point, I'm just waiting for the gameplay trailer to see what's up.
Yeah, I get you.
Like with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And know like how am I gonna vibe with this specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a bit of a deck builder game and you can like build your deck to what your team is, I think that there's like a really good aspect there to like, hey, I like these characters. You have like different builds of decks and teams of characters.
Absolutely.
So it's not just like, so you kind of have to like plan forwards, like, because my play style, a lot of art and a lot of card games like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, I like bringing out big, powerful, beefy boys, just smashing, just going in and attacking, just laying waste. I like attacking whole. I'm Leroy Jenkins essentially.
Oh, I play multiplayer games with you, but I know you're damage first.
Yeah,
I'll support you. I'll be the support. Don't worry.
To me, the only status ailment that matters is hit points equals 0.
Hey man, that is a perfectly logical way to play a game. Moving on from one evil cult to another, a demo I played earlier this week.
Yes!
Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb.
I remember I was talking about this game last year for last year's E3, and this game looks so flippin' adorable.
Yes.
But I just know, part of me just cannot wait to see what the Bible Belt is going to say about this game.
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
I'm going to sit there with popcorn in hand, because you know they're going to lose their ever-loving crap over this game.
I mean, I'll be honest, there are worse games to have come out dealing with religion, but I could definitely see them going, what's going on with a cult here?
Yeah.
So, Cult of the Lamb, it's part like Zelda adventure game, part Animal Crossing, like sim builder. So like you're building.
I heard roguelike.
Roguelike as well. It's a lot of things. That's a lot of things. If you played Inscription, if you played Hades, if you played Animal Crossing, it's a mix of all those games. So you're going from like map to map, collecting stuff you need to build your camp up. You're finding followers to build your cult. You're killing. They're burying.
They just throw a dead body there. Audio listeners, there's a part in the trailer where like this new villager shows up to the lamb's cult, and they wave hi, and it's like, I'm just digging a grave.
It's definitely like completely different tones of like cute animals and like murderous shit happening, like Happy Tree Friends or like the evil critter stuff from South Park.
You know what? Gameplay wise, it just reminded me, because when you're talking about how it's like Animal Crossing, Hades, Zelda. Also, it's like ActRaiser. Have you guys heard of that one?
Yeah, it's the one where it's like a real-time strategy side-scroller one, right?
It's like part side-scroller, part community town building game. Yeah, it's very huge hit on the Super Nintendo. I actually got a remaster last year for the Switch. So
that's right.
Yeah, but look at this. This game is just looks
really like the art style. I'm stoked to play this one.
Yeah, it feels good. I played the demo for about 30 minutes. That's all the amount of time you can play. But I definitely am going to sink my teeth into this one. Can't wait to join this cult.
I'm definitely going to be buying it because this is on the Switch. Yeah, it's on the Switch too, right?
It's on everything.
It's on it. All right. Okay, good. ESOP.
Sorry, it's on the Switch and the PC. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm going to be wish listing that one like quick, because I just love how it's like cute and adorable, but also it's like, hey, here's like these great eldritch horrors just popping out of nowhere.
It's the beginning of the game. It's incredible. Like you get murdered and then you get sent to your Cthulhu hell, and Cthulhu devil is like, they screwed up royally because they brought you right to me. And I'm going to put you right back up there with special powers, and we're going to make this thing real, baby. Really cool premise. I can't wait to play it. Let's move on to... Oh, that comes out in a couple months. I think in August.
August 11th. Yeah. Also,
August 11th.
Yeah. Big thing about that trailer, because, release date right off the bat. So I was like, cool, we know when this is coming out. And people are like, take my money now.
Hell yeah. Moving on to Goodbye World. This is the one I believe you put on there, Sparkz. This is a narrative adventure video game developed by Yo Fuji. It's a narrative adventure where you follow a linear storyline of 13 chapters about 2 game creators while solving in-game puzzles and platforming. Tell me about this one.
If you guys got to watch this one at all, first off, like I want Ben to see it for its like tribute to like game creation, but also there's this part early on where it's just like, what are you doing? Just lazing about the house, and it's like, I just didn't do my job today. And like the way it's going to tackle like character dynamics and their relationships, and like they want to use this lens for analysis of like what I think like it's game creative focus, but just like what creators go through in the sense of like trying to create something while also not having that be the thing that's like your driving main force of income and ability to sustain your own living, and getting to do that through this lens of a video game I thought looked really cool.
Yeah, and like you're playing, it looks like a little like Game Boy game that like that you're developing, I guess. Yeah, it looks really... I love the art style. It's really charming.
Oh, no. The second I saw this, I was like, this game is definitely something I want to play.
Goodbye, world.
I love how there's like... It looks like there's many games from the game the 2 main characters are developing. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. And it just... I mean, even when that one of the characters is just like, I really just don't want to do this. I just want to stay home game. It's like, man, I can definitely relate to that. So...
Right. Very, very relatable. Coming out this year, later this year.
What system again? I don't think I saw a system for it.
Never mind. It's on Steam, so it's on PC. So I have to assume Switch, if anyone.
I think it's going to be Steam and Switch. Most of the indies will be. A decent chunk of them also are going to Game Pass, and that might be one of them.
Okay.
All right. Next up on our list is Nightingale. Set out on a journey of survival and adventure into the dangerous fey realms of Nightingale. Become an intrepid realm walker and venture forth alone or with friends as you explore, craft, build, and fight across a visually stunning gas lamp fantasy world. I am so hardcore into Minecraft, No Man's Sky, crafting games where you can like build settlements. And this very much has an aesthetic that I really like dark fantasy. It's a dark fantasy like card game world builder, and I just like it's like another one of those games that combines a bunch of different things that's just like right up my alley.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of cool stuff on display here. It's not typically my type of game that I'm drawn to or that I'll play, but I appreciate the creativity.
Oh yeah, it's an open world survival crafting game. So yeah, it's like Minecraft but with dark fantasy shit. So yeah. Super into that.
Crafting games I'm not really a big fan of. I mean, Animal Crossing being the exception. But like, because I really don't. Because for me, crafting games, I mean, Cult of the Lamb is a crafting game, but that one for some reason that like.
But it's
all the right spots.
It's not a full crafting game. Like this is like you are like hitting trees nonstop. Like Animal Crossing, you do a lot more than just that.
Yeah, but I mean, this one does look really cool because I love how you lay down cards and that those cards help you go into a world, and those cards also affect the world around you.
All of this,
it's an amazing mechanic. It's like, hey, I need to go to this realm, but it has to be this. But it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make that. It's like, hey, maybe I have a card that can make the enemies a little stronger and I get better loot. Or it's like, hey, I just don't want to deal with them today. No enemies spawn. Just let me get my shit and get out.
This is the type of shit that gets me hard, y'all. It's like you seeing the shit you can build. You can build cities upon cities. Like that's the type of shit where I'm like, just let me be creative, baby. I'm so ready. This comes out.
Oh, I can tell you.
Sorry,
because I got the. It's just 2022, sometime this year. They didn't give any more specific date than that.
Beautiful.
It look really, really cool.
Awesome. This one mostly for me, but it's something we can all appreciate. We all like 4-person cooperative shooters in this household.
Dude, I blame you so much.
We're gonna play this one.
Yes.
Ryan, I blame you so much because you got. I don't know what you said that convinced me to get the Marnius Calgar comic books
Yes.
from Marvel.
Yeah.
And then I bought the Blood Sisters books I still need to read. So now I'm just like,
you're a convert.
I have gone to like 3 other game stores, and I'm like seeing a bunch of Warhammer sets, and I'm like, part of me just wants to get 2, one for Ryan for Christmas and one for me, so we can play Warhammer now. I blame you fully.
One day, baby. So Warhammer 40k Darktide. Take back the city of Tetrium from hordes of bloodthirsty foes. It's an intense and brutal action shooter. It's a new co-op focused experience from the award-winning team behind Warhammer Vermintide, which is the fantasy version of Warhammer. So this is just Left 4 Dead, but 40,000 years in the future, where it is just the absolute worst. Where just living every day is a nightmare. Goblins and monsters and chaos are out to get you. Look at the horde stuff. Look at this crazy skull shit. Ooh, I'm all about it, baby.
I'm into actually getting our hands on this because I do like the 4-player stuff, and being able to do all the things you're doing here in this Warhammer 40k setting looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks so sick. I love it. Big Warhammer fan, and I love that Warhammer is one of the few franchises where they allow their license to go out to everyone and everything, where there are at least, like, I'm not joking, like 25 Warhammer games a year, and like 2/3 of them are not good. But they allow their license to go out to anyone. So sometimes we get really, really good stuff, like a Vermintide, now like a Darktide. Can't wait for this one.
Every once in a while, you get a diamond in the rough.
It's true.
September 13th, 2022.
That is a good time, if you ask me. Speaking of good times, why don't we go back to school, everybody? Why don't we go back to a demon school? Demon School is a new style tactics RPG where motion equals action.
Yeah, this has great bosses.
Yeah,
the bosses look so good. It's like an interesting blend of a couple of things. There's obviously like the turn style combat, but the way it's using grids, is really interesting.
It's like tactics.
Yeah, and I just love the art design. Some of this shit looks so good. It looks very Stranger Things, the anime.
Yeah, absolutely. So it does remind me of tactics games, but it really reminds me of old Persona, the original Persona games that had kind of like an art style and battle system like this, and like having interpersonal relationships, which is what this whole game is also about. It's like you're doing school shit while defeating demons.
Oh yeah, it's like the early Shin Megami Tensei games.
There you go. Yeah, and that's a Persona spinoff, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I thought, wasn't Persona a spinoff of Shin Megami Tensei, or was it the other way around?
You know what? I'll just let's let the audience decide.
Yeah, let's let the audience decide, because those are also games I've heard about, and I actually have been wanting to play Shin Megami, but never played it. But anyways, going back to this game does look beautiful.
That looks sick.
Like the graphics.
That guy.
Look at this shit.
That guy.
Big mouth.
So this guy.
I love how the graphics.
Skeleton with the brain that comes up later. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I love how the graphics are very reminiscent of PS1 Sega Saturn style graphics.
Absolutely.
Where they're not obviously they're not that era, because those era graphics are pretty rough, but they're blocky enough, and they fit the charm of this game. And I really love how a lot of the main characters are pixelated, have like a pixelated art style, but the area around them, this is just like how the art style is with Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy, where it's a HD 2D game where it's still pixel art, but the environments around them are crisp, clean, and gorgeous. Yeah,
the way they're running through those hallways, like, it's just something about the way it looks. It's like something I've never seen before. I love it.
Yeah, I love how indie developers are embracing the 2D HD style and just making 16-bit pixel art look even better than it did in the 90s.
Oh yeah,
those environments do look really good. This is coming out sometime next year.
I would love to wait for it. And let's why don't we leave school, and why don't we approach, I don't know, a season or two? I don't know. It's not a bad transition.
Yeah.
This one was like, does the season end and they all die, or what's
Season? A letter to the future. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let yourself be carried away by a great journey of Season, a third-person atmospheric adventure bicycle road trip game.
I'm so excited. I talked briefly about this at one point on the podcast, that like I just made mention of it, that I really like what this game seems to be doing. The vibe of this game, the art style has me. This is the kind of indie game that I'm drawn to almost immediately.
Collect memories before a mysterious cataclysm washes away everything. It seems like one of those definitely like introspective, beautiful indie games. Oh, look at this, like recording stuff. Oh yeah, you're like that's right.
You're keeping like a record for the future. So like you find things that are important, and you're like, how can I capture the beauty in small things?
Like almost like a time capsule or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks really cool.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, this game didn't really grab me all that much. But it is.
Are different people.
It is. No, I'm glad you're excited for this game, Sparkz. I really am. But
it needs a gun.
No, it's not that.
I'm kidding.
It's a gun. It's just
look at that shot. Look at that shot. That shot's insane. Okay.
I will not lie. This is a beautiful looking game. This is absolutely stunning.
Hey man, not every game has to be for everyone.
No, not at all.
Thank you, Season.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, of course, this is coming out 2023.
Yes.
Autumn 2022.
Autumn 2022.
That's I'm looking at the next game. And the next game is, boy, you know what? I just wish we had more time in the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of time flies, everybody.
Talk about this game this trailer being absolutely direct of what you do, and it's like, what? I was watching this in the middle of my lunch break, and I definitely had to like stop for a few seconds. So I was like, what am I doing with my life?
What I can't see on this particular screen that we're showing right now is the counter in the top left corner that's in the developer trailer, which shows you that you have 80 seconds.
Yes.
That's 80 seconds to do all the tasks, 80 seconds of life.
Yeah, this whimsical game is
Ben's like, what? Yeah, you have 80 seconds of fly life.
It's part open world, part flight simulator.
Yes.
Also, I don't think we said the name of this game. Time flies.
Oh no, yeah,
time flies.
Time flies when you're a fly. I'm sure that's going to be a fun little couple-hour little adventure.
That's a good point, Ben. For the audio listeners, we do need to make sure we're saying the titles.
I feel like Time Flies is going to be a game that's not obviously like Untitled Goose Game, but very reminiscent of Untitled Goose Game, where it's like you have a very limited. Even though Untitled Goose Game you have like a more open window.
Yeah, Ryan, can you start the video over real quick?
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, but and also just the art style itself. It's all black and white. It looks like an old MS-DOS.
I was gonna say like Microsoft like Paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben, so you watched this trailer, but you didn't see like the developer talk about it, right?
No, I did not. I saw this trailer.
So what you get is like when the fly lands on the record, like a little notepad. You can bring up a notepad of like it's your bucket list. You have your bucket list of things you want to do in your 80-second life. And so like one is go on tour, and the way you go on tour is by landing on the record and going with it for a moment.
Okay, that's
so there's all kinds of activities like that you're trying to accomplish on your bucket list because like one of your bucket list things is get old, and it's an 80-second game.
That's the first objective. You win.
Game cycle. Go old. Get old. You win.
I love it. Yeah, this one is coming incoming in 2023.
Next year.
Yeah,
next year.
Ben, this one is just for you.
I hate both of you.
This is a game. The day it comes out, we're playing this with you.
This is Choo Charles.
Choo Charles. Navigate an island in an old train, upgrade it over time, and use it to fight an evil train spider named Charles.
The moment the teaser trailer dropped last year, we were like, "Whoa, Ben's playing that for Spooktober for sure."
No shit. I think
I'm all the more convinced of it.
Oh yeah.
We even showed my girlfriend this announcement trailer, and she was like, "Ah!" She was like scared out of her mind because she hates spiders. And this is like,
does she like trains?
I don't know. Probably not anymore.
I'm thrilled to know that Choo Charles has a cult that you also have to look out for.
Oh yeah. Like you go in the mines and stuff, and like the people surrounding are insane. Oh yeah, it's a roguelike, like level based. So like you go basically until you beat the game or you die, and then you start over. But it's like procedurally generated world where you're on a track. You gotta kill this giant monster.
The goal is a one-on-one battle, but you gotta upgrade your stuff by going around the map and doing favors for people, so you can get the good gear to get the 3 jewels you need from the shrine to summon Choo Charles to fight him and kill him.
Just an absolutely ridiculous premise.
I texted Sparkz this, and I'm going to say it again. I want the record to show that I am not looking forward to Choo Charles.
We'll be your co-pilot. What is it? Co-conductors? Conductors?
It's going to be so great. Yeah, co-conducors.
I was trying to think of the conductor in Thomas the Tank Engine, but it's not Sir Topham Hatt. He's just the dude who owns the railroad.
Yeah, that's true.
I forget the name. Anyway, this is like if James from Thomas the Tank Engine had a love child with a female spider from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, perfectly
Good old
queued up to kill
Shelob.
you.
And it's just absolutely...
You know what, guys?
This is true nightmare fuel. This game is true nightmare fuel.
And I can't wait to play it later this year. But you know what? Why don't we take a break from the nightmares, and why don't we just go to a little B&B, an Airbnb? Why don't we? Why don't we go to...
Maybe. I love this so much.
Why don't we go to Bear and Breakfast? Bear and Breakfast is a laid-back management adventure game where you play as a well-meaning bear trying to run a B&B in the woods.
This is coming out July 28th, 2022. I love this animation. I love the style for this game. I love the concept and premise for this game. If you watch the developers talk about it, they explain like how some of the world wandering works, what you're doing, how you're building things. They're like, yeah, it's basically this simple. You know, you do what you want, how you want to make the best bed and breakfast you can as this big bear in the woods. And then they're like, and of course there is no creepy subplot hidden in the woods, none whatsoever. Don't even worry about it.
So this is it is kind of like one of those survival crafting games, but it's like you're building a bed and breakfast, and like it's actually more like The Sims than anything. Like you're building like a sim bed and breakfast.
I was going to say this is Animal Crossing, but okay, I don't know if that's way too mean to say. Animal Crossing with a point.
No. That's like that's not a diss. Animal Crossing is about just like living.
Yeah, not to diss on Animal Crossing, but because you're running a bed and breakfast, and it looks like there's a plot line in the woods, creepy fox-looking thing. But I was gonna agree with Sparkz. The animation style, I feel like this could be an actual cartoon on Cartoon Network.
It's like, so charming.
Look how wholesome this bear is when he just drops a nightstand and he takes the lamp. He's like, I need this.
He's just trying to run a good business. He's just doing his best.
He's just doing his best, and that's all you can ask for.
I think this is a game I can get Megan to play.
Yeah,
I think she'd actually love the concepts here.
I definitely need to show Fanny this trailer because I think she's gonna absolutely love this game.
Yeah, I love this.
Also, the pixel art looks absolutely gorgeous. You know what the pixel art reminds me of? Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you know what, Ben? That's actually a great comparison. Like this is very much like a Stardew Valley, but like instead of you running a farm, you're building a Airbnb as a bear.
Yeah, it's another game that my friends have told me I have to play because it's just like one of the chillest games. I thought Animal Crossing was a super chill game. Apparently, Stardew Valley is also just as, if not more chill.
Stardew Valley is very much like Animal Crossing, except you can marry the townspeople and like have relationships and like it's.
Yeah, I heard that.
So very excited for Bear and Breakfast. The next game, y'all, is my personal game of the show. I cannot wait to play this game. This trailer I've watched probably 12 times, mostly because of the music. It's called Skate Story.
Yeah. Guys, I am a demon made of glass and pain, and I must skate.
Yeah. This is like a poetry video more than it is like a trailer. It's introducing new music from a great band. I literally just missed the name of the band. Hold on. I think it's Blood Churches.
Yeah, take it back. We can just take it back. We're going to talk long enough that this trailer can loop.
Blood Cultures.
Yeah. Blood Cultures.
Look them up on Spotify. Yeah. You're a demon in the underworld made of glass and pain. The devil has given you a skateboard with a simple deal. Skate to the moon and swallow it, and you shall be free.
Oh, gosh. Just what a wonderful visual style. It's like someone's wanting to capture some amount of Tony Hawk skater magic, but like bring something wholly different to the table visually, and they seem to have done that in spades. I love the look of this.
You are a demon made of glass and pain,
and you must skate.
It makes me want to cry. It's so good. I love it.
What was I going to say? The other skateboarding game I remember coming out recently was Ollie Ollie World. I heard that was actually really fun. But at the same time, when I was watching this trailer, I was like, I haven't seen a skateboarding game like this. Because when you say the word skateboarding game, your mind goes to Tony Hawk, maybe Skate, or some of the other games where it's just like, hey, it's an arcade-style game. You just go around a map and you skate, you try to rack up as much points as possible, then you're done. Having a skateboarding game, as far as I know, Ollie Ollie World may have a storyline, I'm not 100% sure, but having an actual storyline with a skateboarding game... Actually, no, I lied. Tony Hawk's American Underground.
I was gonna say a bunch of those have, but this is gonna be
like an RPG.
This is gonna be way more like straightforward. I think like not as much. I'm gonna guess there's not as much narrative as there was just like you like skating through a bunch of levels.
But these visuals
are insane.
My God, are gorgeous.
Yeah, I was floored the first time I saw this. I'm like, oh my god, like, and it's an indie game. Like, this game's gonna do so well.
I told Ben and Ryan before we started the show, I was watching some of these with my friend who I'm living with now, Michael, and he's not grabbing a lot of new games these days, and he was watching them. And he's like, yeah, they're fine. And he wasn't like completely paying a lot of attention to any of them. This one came on, and he was like, oh, what is this?
Art. Yeah, this just looks like art, like more than anything. Cannot wait for this. This has a release date of when, my man?
This is next year. No specific time given yet for Skate Story.
This is one where I'm like, just come out now, please. Please.
take your money now.
Just come out now.
It is absolutely beautiful. So
we're moving on from the underworld into the planet of Lana. Tell us about Lana, Sparkz.
Oh.
I think we've actually gotten a small glimpse of this before, and I brought it up then, or at least I did in passing. This might have been
last
one where
year.
I think this might have been one where I was like, I just want to name drop this real quick, but we were gonna move on. And this year I was like, no, I really want to talk about this one. I love the art of the world in the background. The art you're seeing right here for our visual folks. For the audio listeners, it's just this really beautiful side-scrolling world. It's so dynamic. It reminds me a lot. There's a Inuit game with a small Inuit child and fox, a little white fox that does a lot of partnering the same way you're seeing here with the main character and the cat to get through the environment. I believe it's called either Never Alone or Not Alone. And I loved that game. That came out a while ago. I don't think it's the same studio. I tried to look into that, but I didn't find any connective tissue specifically. But there's a lot of similar vibes with how they navigate through the environment together, puzzle solve together. And the tone is very similar, but it's this wonderfully like post world, but it's not Earth. It's just like this post-development world where technology has slipped a little bit. Nature is slightly reclaiming, but there's also this robotic menace. This is like Robotnik taken to its best levels. It going on in the background. I love it.
It mostly, the game that I think it closely, if I had to make it sound like anything else, it reminds me of Horizon, where it's like apocalypse with like machine monsters.
Sure.
But honestly, this art style is like way cooler. It's
art style.
Gorgeous.
This art style is absolutely beautiful. Like when we were watching Water Rise earlier. Water Rise?
It was this shot and like one grass hill shot of like racing through the desert we saw last year. We got just the smallest glimpse. I'm so happy to see more here.
No, when we were watching the trailer for High Water, it like when we were talking about it earlier, I was like, can't wait to talk about Planet of Lana. That game looks gorgeous.
I was going to say, a young girl and her loyal friend embark on a rescue mission through a colorful world full of cold machines and unfamiliar creatures. Planet of Lana is a cinematic puzzle adventure framed by an epic sci-fi saga that stretches across centuries and galaxies. So it's going to be bigger than we think, maybe. Cool.
They're aiming to have a very emotional narrative that they hope to linger with you after the credits roll, as they say. Yeah. Coming to Steam and Xbox, I think Game Pass even, but they didn't name it specifically, I think. In the trailer. I don't remember if that or not.
Let's move on to some nostalgia. How do you feel about the Nintendo 64, Benjamin?
Oh, God.
Weren't we just talking about this on like the podcast about like there should be like a new GoldenEye game? Like,
I feel like we were mentioning something about GoldenEye.
There wasn't there like a rumor that they're going
to do like a remake, a remaster? Yeah. This is Agent 64: Spies Never Die, a retro FPS inspired by classic '90s console shooters. Fight against state-of-the-art 1997 enemy AI.
Okay, I'm actually kind of mad at myself because it took me a while to figure out the joke in Agent 64. Because when I first saw the graphics, I'm like, this is, and it's kind of like that otter meme that's been going around with Ewan McGregor. Was like, this is just motherfucking GoldenEye.
Oh yeah. It's 100% just enter a world of FPS and action.
This is the part where you're able to build your own maps and world. That made me go, okay, I get why we're doing what we're doing right now. Then, this doesn't speak to my personal nostalgia. I did not play GoldenEye. I don't have that fond memory, though I understand the cultural touchstone it is in game culture. But I think that the addition of being able to design your own thing is a wonderful addition that they made to this, especially with the graphics being as what they are. The fact that there's just a little more to it, I think, is wonderful.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of gamers are going to have a field day making their own campaign Agent 64 because that's the big draw. It says build your own campaign, so it's like people are going to go nuts with this. So
coming out later this year.
Beautiful. Demo out now.
Oh, I can't wait to talk
So
about this.
I when I saw this Sparkz, I thought it was the Little Nemo in it's like Dreamland based off a book, but it's not.
It is.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is that. Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It is based off the comic. It's
Okay.
based off a French comic, which also was adapted into an animated cartoon that I watched religiously as a child.
Little Nemo and the Guardian of Slumberland.
Adventures in Slumberland. This one is Little Nemo and the Guardians of Slumberland,
Beautiful.
and it's a. I really wanted to highlight it because they dropped this at the end of the day of the developers, and it's on Kickstarter right now, and it hasn't reached its goal yet. It's at this moment it's at 41,000 out of 65,000. And it's got 12 days to go. So I highly recommend that if what we're talking about and what you're seeing sounds cool, go support that Kickstarter because I love this. I love this art style. They introduced it with art. It's an art music. If you watch the development, not just the trailer that we have playing right now, then you saw that it was cross-cut with Anamanaguchi. Yeah, making the music for the game and building a little music video with it that was intercutting him making the music for it. I just thought it looked so wonderful. I love the art style so much.
I did see Anamanaguchi, who did the Scott Pilgrim video game soundtrack.
Yes.
Great, what's it called? Chiptunes? Is that what it's called?
Yes, chiptunes.
Yeah. Explore a dream world as little Nemo, armed with toys, candy, and stuffed animals in this colorful platforming Metrovania adventure.
Go ahead and loop it one more time.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So the one thing I was going to definitely say about what this trailer grabbed me of is the gameplay. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. Sparkz, just like you, I had that Little Nemo and Slumberland VHS. Watched that suck religiously. Absolutely love that film. And I love how this game looks.
The animation.
But also the gameplay is very reminiscent of Mario 2.
The
American version of Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, where you pick up the turnips and shit. Yes, absolutely.
And also you get to explore around. Like there's Metroidvanias. There's your bed.
You got a map. You got a Metroidvania map.
Your bed is your save point by the looks of it.
Oh my god, this game looks so good.
And how you get a game over with like everything shattering behind you.
That's
and
incredible.
You wake up, I think that's amazing.
God,
right now, I really hope they make their Kickstarter goals. I'm probably gonna look into what their thing is because unfortunately right now my finances are a little because I got a trip to save up for. But I hope this game comes out because I want to play this game.
Looks great.
This game looks absolutely gorgeous.
This is one I'm dropping some dough on. They anticipate at best they're aiming for end of next year for the release. But I think it looks just so charming, so gosh darn charming. There's a bit at the end of the trailer here where you see the bed come to life as it does in the comic that I love so much. It just looks so good. I'm so excited for you didn't have to take it back, Ryan. It's like the very end after they show the
gotcha.
publisher logo.
The animation, it's so solid. Like when he's jumping and his feet are kicking. Just stellar. Oh, look at this.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh man, this looks great.
Yeah, I want it so bad. I think you're right, Ben. Like the gameplay too, it just looks so perfect. I want to play it so bad.
Love it. That looks fantastic.
It's a great mix of Metroid platforming with Super Mario Brothers 2 mechanics. Where you pick up stuff up and you throw them at enemies instead of like just jumping on them or in Metroid's case, pew pew.
Yeah, so this will be a long wait. I do believe it'll get its Kickstarter. Having a trailer come out during this, I'm sure it'll get its money, no problem.
I kind of honestly I liked everything they put in Day of the Devs. I understand why they were like, this is a big home run hit for us to put at the end. They're in their reel. It felt like an afterthought in a way, only because there was so much like fluff in between like the last one before and then they were doing like the end wrap ups with a lot of people and then they dropped this trailer and I'm like, man, if you want to get some support, it's the one that needs it. Put it right up front.
Absolutely, yeah.
Put it right up front. It looks so good.
Yeah, probably a year and a half, 2 years away, which is unfortunate. But hey, man, games take a long time to get made.
It's for Switch and Steam.
Beautiful. This next game called The Plucky Squire. This might be my number 2.
Sure.
This is
game,
right now my number 1. This is, as of right now, this is my number one.
The Plucky Squire is a storybook. Storybook characters discover a three-dimensional world outside the pages of their book and must jump between 2D and 3D realms to save their friends in this charming action adventure. So this trailer starts out as a traditional like. I'm gonna turn this audio off. Sorry. It starts as like a traditional like 2D like Zelda game, and then midway through you pop out of the book and it turns into a 3D game.
Part of it for me is that it's not even that it's that partway through the book adventures, it changes the dynamic and style right here for the fighting
into Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's changing exactly what it's doing even before you've jumped out of the book.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
I just realized that the sword looks like the tip of a pen.
Oh.
Like those old school fountain pens for the Plucky Squire sword.
It's got the quill. It's got the quill in the Squire.
So this is the part where it made my jaw drop.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everything about this, like he's going in 3D, he's going in 2D. I'm like, oh no.
So for our listeners, your main character is able to jump out of his 2D world book and then jump into the real world, but also still jump into any surface,
like jumping on the side of coffee cups.
On the side of coffee cups, anything to become part of its world and integrate and continue his adventures.
I love the. Let me read the story real quick. I think it's great. When the malevolent Hump Grump realizes he's the villain of the book, destined to lose his battle against the forces of good, he kicks the heroic Jot out of its pages and changes the story forever.
Oh, I get his name, Jot, because you jot something down.
Yeah.
But anyways, what Sparkz was saying about how you can go into any 2D world, it's exactly like Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, except instead of just like being a 2D space and moving around and getting into corners you can't go, this one takes a step further where yes, you're in a 2D space, but you are acclimating to that world. Like we saw a scene where it was like a bullet shooter, or like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, where he was fighting a bear and he's punching it just like Mike Tyson or Super Punch Out. And then it looks like you could take some equipment in and out of worlds too. So it's like, hey, I got this really big jetpack I could take out of the world, and maybe I could use it in a different world, and it'll help me out. So this game looks absolutely. I know this is like take a shot whenever I say a game looks great. This game looks freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And normally with Devolver Digital games like Cult of the Lamb, I'm probably gonna get on. Well, I'm going to get on Switch because that was what it was advertised for. This one is on Xbox One, Switch, and PS5. I'm getting this for PS5 because the 3D visuals look stunning.
Yeah. Every lots of different art styles, and they're all working.
Like, not to knock the Switch, because the Switch, I mean, we all know it's a little less powerful than the other consoles. But...
No, knock the Switch. Like, there are times where you get something that's graphically... Like, I like the Switch, but there are times where you're getting things at this point where, like, graphically it's being made for all three, but, like, the graphics on the games are of a generation where the Switch just cannot measure up, and you are getting a lesser experience visually.
Yeah, Nintendo, they used to, but they don't care anymore about staying with the graphics times.
Yeah, but the Plucky Squires, for me, this is definitely going to be a PS5 get. That's damn
sure. Especially with the haptic controller shit. Like, that's why I want to play most games on PS5.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Yes.
All right, so...
this is coming out next year.
It's going to be a long way.
I can wait. I'm still playing through Elden Ring. I can wait.
What you said? Well, Ben. Let's go to the animal well.
Yes.
I said it. I love how on our sheet on stuff to watch, Sparkz wrote, Ben, this is a much watch. Watch this before. And I'm like, oh, now I see
Ryan,
why.
I'm sure Ryan and I got a lot of enjoyment and interest out of this, but I was like, this was made for you.
This looks the art, like so many, like we see lots of similar art styles, but there's something about this where it's like neon pixel that I just really like. I really like it.
Even though, because I was watching I actually didn't see this trailer. I was watching the developer one for this.
Yes.
And the developer straight up said that there's a puzzle in that developer that if you could figure it out, he'll send you a free copy of the game. And
the first 10 people.
That's crazy.
I don't know what the puzzle
is. He was also like to expand on that, like he was saying like there are puzzles that like he designed it so that you can play through the game. Oh, this spooky ghost thing. I love it.
Yeah.
You can play through the game pretty easily to complete the story. That's fine. But there are more challenging puzzles in the second layer that are not obvious, and there are even more challenging puzzles in a third layer upon replay that honestly will probably take years to find, and possibly even community cooperation with each other to solve.
I love that.
So it's like so many levels deep, but he's still made sure like you can play the story. You can play through the game.
I also love because in his developer talk, because that's how I was watching this game. But this game, once again, taking a shot. It's the pixel art is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And he said that like he knows that a lot of HDTVs they have like thousands upon thousands of pixels, and he's like, well, that just means I can make these pixels look their absolute best, and they do. They look absolutely gorgeous. The animation is stunning. The animation from that creepy ghost. What's it like? This creepy ghost right here.
Oh, the ghost cat.
That looks or the
water horse.
The animation can look deceptively simple,
chameleon
but
monster?
there's a lot of work put into it.
It looks a lot like it reminds me a lot like Undertale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. All right, so I'm going to explore a dense, interconnected labyrinth and unravel its many secrets. Collect items to manipulate your environment in surprising and meaningful ways. Encounter beautiful and unsettling creatures. As you attempt to survive what lurks in the dark, there is more than what you see. It is another Metroidvania, baby.
Part of the thing as you go through it is like every animal you encounter, you're not sure how that encounter is going to go, and so the only way to find out is through experience. Yeah, I think that's wonderful. This does not have a release date yet, so we have to assume at least 2023, if not later.
Yeah.
Because no date has been given at this time.
Yeah, small studios takes a lot longer to make a game.
But doing great work.
A couple of people. Oh yeah, I can't wait to play this one. Speaking of can't waiting for things, I think we should just. I got no segue for this. Birth. It's Birth.
Birth. So this is a pretty simple like puzzle kind of game, but what I love about it, there's this wonderful art style, and the concept in the world is that you're able to pick up all these different things that you find, and ultimately what you decide is you're quite lonely, your main character, and you want to create a partner, and so you're doing all of these things to collect the pieces to bring a bone person, because all these people have like animal skulls for heads and things, and they look just super wonderful in the way that they're created.
Tim Burton.
You are creating a partner, and that's what the bones and organs right there in the trailer are. And I think that's just beautiful in its own way. I love this style. It just is so unique and creepy. Like there's a creepiness but a charm to it as well.
Birth is an adventure puzzle game about constructing a creature from spare bones and organs found around the city in order to quell your loneliness.
In each of these buildings, you will.
Yeah,
no, I was going to say, because I watched this trailer earlier, and it was definitely something that I was like, man, Ryan is gonna love this game.
I love skulls. You're right.
Yeah, but just watching this game, like, you know, it has a very creepy aesthetic, and it's a puzzle game. One of the things is I was watching the Day of the Devs trailer for this, and the developer said that there are no instructions. You have to try and guess at it the whole way. I'm like, that is interesting, because a lot of times, I mean, a lot of games nowadays, they don't come with instruction manuals. They just let their tutorial do all the talking for them. And sometimes gamers just say, screw tutorials. I just don't care. I just let me play the game.
Ben, you got to play Tunic. You got to play Tunic then. Tunic's whole thing is about you collect an in-game manual, and the more you collect, the more it reveals about the game.
Oh.
You would love Tunic. You would love Tunic.
Yeah, you would love Tunic.
You should definitely check that out.
All right. But yeah, just seeing this game about all the different puzzles, because even while I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, I think I know what I need to do there. And then there are other ones that like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and everything's hand drawn. I mean, obviously everything in art is like drawn, but like you think it's like a hand animation style instead of it being like 3D.
Yeah, it definitely has a
simple but
gorgeous
beautiful
art style. That's for sure.
Yeah, I really like it. This is coming out August this year.
Beautiful. I don't know what this Skim.
The way they pronounce it is just like the Skim or something.
Skim.
Skim is a game about jumping from shadow to shadow in a challenging and lively environment. Oh.
Yeah,
you play the Skim, a shadow creature. There you go.
I love this.
Yes, this is the type of thing that I want to see more in games, of like using shadows. There's only a few games I can think of, and one of them is a Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, where you play as Dracula in the future, and you can hop from shadow to shadow. But I
love that.
Yeah, this art style looks so good.
You're basically moving around like for our audio listeners, a standard environment. Like through a park, down the street, but you can only travel in the shadows of things, so you have to find ways to move with shadows from people, from objects, in order to get through the map.
There's
a like, and you're also trying to like solve people's problems, like if they're missing things
Goose Game.
or anything like that. I was gonna say it's very much Untitled Goose Game, but you're helpful instead of a monster.
Happy Shadow Frog. That's the name of the game.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, this game, because at first I was like, oh, well, if you're a shadow creature, what do you do? Because normally when you hear the term shadow creatures, you think, oh, you're the creature of darkness. You're here to enslave or not enslave, but you're going to do bad things.
You know what this reminds me of too?
What?
Frogger.
Yeah.
This is like the next logical conclusion of Frogger.
Yeah.
Timing has a big part of it. Timing with the movement of certain things, so that you can travel across spaces.
Absolutely.
I love this. There's a bit where I think it's near the end where like it jumps and gets like just whisked away off screen by a truck because it got caught in the wrong shadow.
It's like, whoops. But what I love about this one is that...
with the train, yeah.
What I love about this game is that you're on your way to find your person. You want to find the person whose shadow you belong to. And I'm like, man, that's wholesome.
Yeah.
It's just a little shadow dude trying to find his way home. Also looks really cute.
He's he's the nobody of the Frog main character, Ben.
It's just it's just so unique looking. This has no release date at this time, so we have to assume 2023 probably.
Yeah.
But so different. It's just so different, and I love it.
Happy Frog Man. Happy Frog Shadows.
Frog shadows.
You know what? Let's say goodbye. Let's learn how to say goodbye, Sparkz. Can you tell me about this one?
Yeah, so I really like this one. It's all based around tile movement. I really love the art style. You are interacting with 12 characters. They're all ghosts, and you're trying to, through each other, process the motions of loss and grief in order to move forward. And the tile dynamics look really cool for the gameplay. The art style is, I think, wonderful. And then they're trying to hit on something very personal where they said, like, they want to engage in like these real heavy feelings of loss, of grief, but in a way where it's digestible, where it's not overbearing, where it's something that you can kind of like, you don't get anxiety about thinking about, even if you've encountered loss. There's something, they aimed for something relatable, but approachable.
And it's interesting, to make it like, I've never seen a game like this before, like a tile puzzle game.
Yeah, they also were very specific that one of the important things about the system is that you can never move the tiles in a way where the puzzle on a level becomes unsolvable.
Oh, that's good. That's smart design.
It's always solvable. You just have to, they designed it so that you will always be able to solve it. You just have to find the right way. And they said there can be multiple solutions on a way, and that's one of the reasons it's always solvable. You just have to be able to think it through.
Awesome.
So you'll never get to a point where you have to be like, oh, I screwed up, back. Like you can keep playing on.
How to Say Goodbye is a narrative puzzle game inspired by illustrated books. Move the elements of the core and manipulate reality to help groups of ghosts wandering between two worlds to reach the other side. But beware, there are evil spirits that will try to stop you.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I really just love the look of it. This is coming out later this year.
Love it. Next. Ooh, why don't we go to the dung dung? Oh, I missed it. This is a Netflix game, y'all. So this is called Desta, The Memories Between, and it's made by actually a pretty good developer. If I would have known this is a developer making this game, I would have wanted to talk about it when it was originally announced. Desta relive memories, rediscover friends, and repair relationships in this unique turn-based strategy exploration game from the creators of Monument Valley, which was a mobile game, one of the best mobile phone games ever made.
Yeah.
Welcome to Netflix Gaming.
Desta has this thing where the main character, Desta, lost their father. And that's kind of where the game is picking up, is in the loss of their father, this kind of sense of how to progress in their life without that pillar that was so important to them. And the way that that's being adapted is through both the value and memory and relationship of the people that are still around, and also through the ball that you see in the gameplay is tied to a memory with the father of playing catch. And you use that as a dynamic for traveling through and unlocking other memories and encountering dreams where you're able to relate to moments with your father. They focus on like things that they'll be tackling, like that time where you said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, that you focus on over and over again, and how to overcome that through gameplay of like re-encountering that bad memory.
That sounds heavy. I like it.
Yeah, it does.
It's a character-driven roguelike featuring an immersive story, strategic turn-based combat, and a metaphorical. It's also a metaphorical ball game. They call it a ball game, so that's fun.
Yeah,
this looks really cool.
No release date yet, 2023, possibly later. But that concept, the way the team is like, we want to tackle these things, I thought was so cool.
Absolutely, and it's a game you can play on Netflix. That's a whole new thing that's coming soon. Netflix gaming, y'all. Oh boy, let's get to a hot one. Let's talk about Redfall. Redfall.
Here it is.
Redfall is an open-world co-op first-person shooter from Arcane Austin, the award-winning team behind Prey and Dishonored. Incredible games. Continue Arcane's legacy of carefully crafted worlds and immersive sims. It's a open-world, story-driven Left 4 Dead game. And we don't get many of these types. We get plenty of Left 4 Deads, but we don't get story-driven open-world Left 4 Deads. And I think this looks fantastic.
This is the one where you kill vampires, right?
Yes. You are.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's Left 4 Dead, but with like emo vampire men.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued by it. I can't wait to get my hands on it because I loved the cinematic trailer, and now we're getting the gameplay, and I'm like, I think this will be a lot of fun to play through with friends. I just think there's something so creative about the way they're approaching this world and what the characters can do. This did seem unlike the cinematic trailer, which was not the vibe I got, but maybe I'm misremembering, but this did seem like the gameplay showed that only a single character has special powers. The rest are kind of working with technology rather than special abilities. Is that wrong?
That's wrong, because you have a girl who can create an elevator that gives her a jump boost, and you have another person who can go invisible. They all have abilities.
I thought the invisible was a tech thing. At least that was my read when I watched the gameplay thing earlier. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think 3 characters seem to have technology-based things, and the girl has powers.
Oh, okay,
and
sorry.
I thought they all had like special powers.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's just the girl.
Sorry, I thought you meant something different. No, yeah, I think there's only like one magic user. I think the rest are like tech-based. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I had originally thought this was like a kind of like, I likened this to like, because there's a lot of like Stephen King-ish vibes in at least the vampire interpretation stuff here.
Yes.
And the psychic powers. So I thought this might be something like where they all have like different kinds of their own shining essentially.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem to be the case there. It's just one kid that has that, and then the others are using technology to kind of keep up.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. And it's a thing where like you can choose what character you want to play to level up, and customize your abilities and perks and all that kind of stuff as you do in these types of games. Arcane is a terrific developer, and this is they made Deathloop, or they are one of the studios that made Deathloop. So like, they just keep knocking these out of the park, and I love the vampire designs. Like they're not just like traditional vampires. They are kind of like Stephen King. Like they got the huge fangs or the long claws. 30 Days of Night Evil, love it.
And the environments look so fun. There's like a Lost Boys sense here to like watching this amusement park style fight with the vampires. Like there's so much variety in the environments. I would love to.
That was sick.
Play this with friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. He drove us like a techno stick into the ground, and it turned all the enemies to stone. That was awesome. I am very excited for this one. This got delayed from this year to next year, but you know what? A delayed game is always a good game. Speaking of good games, I don't know if this is good, but I'm really excited for it. It's The Last Case of Benedict Fox. Take on The Last Case of Benedict Fox and dive into a twisted world of secret organizations, forbidden rituals, and cold-blooded murder. Explore the memories of deceased victims as you search for clues and fight demons in this fantastical Lovecraftian Metroidvania. I know we're all fans of that genre. At least I know Ben and I are. But Lovecraft and Cthulhu and like all that shit in a Metroidvania. I'm all about it.
That's
beautiful art.
That is Ryan's bread and butter. Essentially, it's like the second you throw in Cthulhu anything is like, oh, he's in.
It's true. You give me a couple tentacles on your face, and I'm there. I'm there.
Put an eldritch god inside of a detective, and here you go.
Absolutely.
Here's a story. I think the art style is gorgeous. If for nothing else, like the dynamics of it make me really want to play it, just because visually it's so appealing. But then like you add in all the Eldritch horror stuff that we're doing. In
my god,
I'm there, baby.
Yeah, look at this. It looks so good. Yeah, I love it going black and white. You have demonic powers of your own, which is going to be really cool. Very, very excited for this one. This is a 2023 release. We got plenty of stuff in the meantime. Ooh, let's talk about some sea nymphs. You want to talk about some sea nymphs?
Yeah, I just really like this is a vibe one for me. This is another kind of landing in the same space as High Water, I guess, or Goodbye World.
Yeah,
this just seems like it will be very pleasant to play. This is also engaging with the concept of like how mankind affects the environment in a different way. And it's got this wonderful top-down view of the naiad that you are playing as they travel through the water, encountering and helping the aquatic life that lives in there, which I think is just really pretty.
It reminds me of like a Pikmin almost in a way.
Yeah, honestly, it's screaming to me like, I'm like, if they made a Luca game like this, I would play it. It makes me vibe Luca hardcore, so I'm like, yes, I'm here.
That's a good
want
pull.
to play this.
That's a good pull.
Notably, like, there's there doesn't seem to be any direct like enemies necessarily. It's like all puzzle solving games through travel and just kind of engaging with the art style and unlocking things. But there's no like the crocodile you're helping, all these kinds of things. There's no animal threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes in some games you just wanna swim around and chill. You don't need to have combat. You don't need to have stuff fighting and blowing shit up all the time. So
if I may, Ben, sometimes you just want to press start on the game and chill rather than pausing the game.
Look at this.
I see what you did there.
I like naiad because that's the Greek word for sea nymph, and I'm Greek.
Yes.
Bing bong. Thank you, naiad. This comes out later this year.
Yeah.
Later this year.
I'm a fish. Or a sea nymph.
You know who's not a sea nymph? People
Flintlock.
in ye old English times. Ye old England. Welcome to Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn. Join humanity's last stand as gods and guns collide in an all-new action-adventure open world. This is another open-world action-adventure game. But I think the I'm always a big fan of like alt history English stuff. Or just alt history in general, and this looks like weird, again, more dark fantasy open world shit. I'm all about it. I love fighting skeletons in trenches.
I really like the gameplay. You and I got to watch this one together, Ryan, live when it was happening, and we both were like, we were watching the Waypoint stream. We were hearing them be very taken by it. We were both being taken by it. It just looks very, very cool.
Like you're doing so many different things. Like you got your combat, but then you were like flying through certain rings. Like you have like a little animal who's your companion. There's like elemental stuff for your freezing opponents, but you also have guns. So it's like mixing a melee with spells and guns. Oh, it might be. I wonder if it's like British Indian. Oh, I think I'm seeing like Indian colonization, British stuff.
It seems like it. It's taking a lot of cues from a lot of different beats. I think that the use of
the slide,
both weapons and magic, is just so good, so well balanced. It seems.
Yeah, I
really want to play it.
Yeah, this one. I'm gonna turn on this music real quick. This one has a release date of I don't know. You got me. Sparkz?
Oh yeah. Let me see. Yes, early 2023.
Okay. Sounds
no
good.
specific projections, but they are aiming for the early quarter of 2023.
Beautiful. And this isn't a huge studio making this game too, so like I wanna give it a chance. It looks cool.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Cocoon. Let's talk about Cocoon, and we're not talking about the Wilfred Brimley movie from the 80s. From Jepsy Carlson, the lead game designer of Limbo and Inside, Cocoon takes you on an adventure across worlds within worlds. Master world-leaping mechanics and solve intricate puzzles to unravel a cosmic mystery. Y'all, this looks hype as shit.
Yeah, Ben, did you get to see this one yet?
I did not.
I'm glad.
I want you to watch this closely. We're actually just going to watch this one all the way through, and then we'll talk about it. And Ryan can just loop it after you've watched it.
Absolutely.
Once,
Welcome to Cocoon.
So we'll just talk on through it. So the art style is obviously very cool. Really like it. The puzzle solving on this is about to get wild though, and I love that.
So it looks just like a kind of like Zelda-like, where you're picking up things to solve puzzles, but then it turns into Inception. And Ben's head turn. The head turn.
You are truly solving in 3D space.
So the only way I can describe this game is like Zelda Inception. Because you're going between worlds, and like you're going between altitudes and like different planes of the world.
It also looks like you're playing with time too, because the character was holding this one
orb. It's so good. Oh, it's so good.
Okay,
that's the good.
That's
shit.
why I wanted Ben to watch it.
Yeah, that's the good shit.
Because it also looks like you're holding because the character for a split second in the trailer was holding a like one of the cocoons, and it was like, hey, this one's tapped into a certain time where this bridge that isn't there now was there either in a different time or another world. It's like you can use because it looks like in order to solve the puzzles you have to definitely, to quote Doc Brown, you have to think fourth dimensionally.
Yes.
It's like this scene, right? That scene right there. Where
Yeah,
this thing wasn't here, but it's also kind of like the Storm of Songs in Ocarina of Time. It's like you're the one who introduces the musician to the Storm of Songs, so you can progress the game.
Yep.
This looks like a really cool.
Really like it.
Yeah, really cool, like unique puzzle game. That I haven't seen. Like the idea of Inception of going inside, like we don't really see often. Maybe except like Ratchet and Clank, but that was more multiverse stuff.
Yeah, and a sharp and distinct visual style.
Yeah.
Is really prominent here.
Love
it.
Limbo and Inside are both incredible indie games that are side scrollers, and this is the first time that they're going kind of like a 3D open world, not open world but 3D. And this looks incredible. Love it.
Cocoon is coming out next year.
Beautiful. Hey guys, let's go back in time. We got to go back in time. Talking about Back to the Future. Let's go back to ye old 16th century. From Obsidian, this game is a historical mystery role-playing game that focuses on character development, heavily stylized art, and choice-driven storytelling in 16th century Germany. The main character is a clever illustrator caught up in a series of murders at Creusot Abbey over 25 years. I'll be honest, I don't know if I'm going to play this immediately, but this is certainly one of the most unique games I've ever seen.
God, it looks exactly like those medieval Renaissance paintings.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe not Renaissance painting, but definitely looks like those old medieval drawings.
Yeah,
that you see in churches, where depicting the older kings. It's like, or even in like, what's a good example? Like the animated sketches of Monty Python.
The
art you would. It's honestly even the art you would see on Catan cards. It's that level.
Oh, Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just it's a very interesting looking old school RPG. That's all like hand drawn looking animation, weird puzzle stuff. Just a really unique game that I'm just glad gets to exist because like it's nothing like I've ever seen. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
the animation looks so good in movement. I really intrigued by that.
November.
I'm glad it's coming to Game Pass. That's something I could see giving a little bit of time to.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Almost every single game, like because the Xbox and Bethesda had their own press conference, which some of the games are in here. Every single game that was on that Xbox conference is coming to Game Pass. Every single one. So half the games we talked about on here are coming to Game Pass immediately.
No, I was about to say like the last 3 we talked about are all Xbox exclusives, and like Pentient, which is the one we're just discussing, the one that's like medieval animated style. It looks gorgeous. It is definitely a game that has a different type of. A lot of games nowadays, thankfully, I mean, don't get me wrong, the AAA ones, like the next one we're probably going to talk about, they look gorgeous. Do not get me wrong, but when developers like, hey, we have this art style, but we're going to bring this art style and make it look absolutely stunning. I feel that's like where a lot of these developers can truly shine, because thankfully I feel like we're now in a day and age where a game should look good, but then you have games like Agent 64, Goodbye World, Cult of the Lamb, where they may not, or Demon School, where they may not be looking as crisp and pristine as a AAA title, but they still make the hardware work for them, and they still look absolutely gorgeous, even if the visuals are, and I'm using air quotes here, are downgraded.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, they're not a downgrade. It's just like a retro art style is just different than a $300 million Bethesda open world space game. Like, they're just like they both can exist.
Yeah,
it's one of the wonderful things. It's one of the wonderful things about the indie games is that so many of the ones that we're talking about here, they're able to take the resources that they have and apply it to making something gorgeous in its own right. And for exactly the style of what they're going for, and that's no different. Where like they chose like, hey, part of what's going to be unique, and it's no slight on the gameplay or the mechanics or what they're coming up with for the story. Part of what's going to be unique is the look of this experience, because major publishers won't do something like this.
Absolutely.
Right. And also to talk about the first game that we started talking about here, Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. That game, if you put it side by side with, say, Turtles in Time or the original arcade game, obviously Shredder's Revenge is going to look better, but it still takes so many visual cues from those classic arcade games that's like, with these more powerful hardware, they still up the ante. The animations look smoother. The pixels don't look the pixels are like I mean, yes, they're still it's still pixel art, but it looks a little cleaner and
That's
crisper, if
that's
that
the
makes
thing.
sense.
No, absolutely, no, that's the thing. Because like the like retro style, like they will still look 16-bit, but with modern technology, you can add so many more frames of animation. So like something like Little Nemo, that is a 2D side scrolling game, but the animations are like insane because like you have so much more to work with even in a small capacity. Speaking of small capacities, let's talk about the most expensive game on this list.
But that's not all.
That's not all, y'all.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You can even build your own spaceships.
That's why I'm buying this game. Starfield from Bethesda Studios, creators of Skyrim, Fallout. This is their first new universe, their first new IP in 25 years. In this next-generation role-playing game sent amongst the stars, embark on an epic space journey to answer humanity's greatest mystery, not asked in Prometheus. So I love Bethesda games. I'm a big Skyrim guy. I love Fallout. Like they make some of, I think, the best open world RPGs because I think they just got the mechanics and the RPG stuff down. We watched this together, Sparkz. So like the gameplay here, I'll scoot back to some of the gameplay. The regular gameplay.
I'm sorry, my jaw was open because I did watch like bits and pieces of the trailer because what we're showing right now on our screen is the 15-minute long gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Which, good idea, but at the same time, I was like, I didn't know you can customize your ship.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, not just. Oh, Ben, hold on. I gotta go. We gotta go.
That's where it gets you.
Because you not only
Got
customize
the
your
ship action.
Yeah, it's gummy ship, 100%. There's also base building. There's people customization. Oh, here it is. Yeah. You build your own like Astro city, basically.
Yep.
So the thing about this game is like Bethesda's combat. It's never been their best, and they'll tell you that. Like they've never been. If you want to play a good shooter, play Halo. Don't play Fallout. Right? You play Fallout for the RPG elements. Right? The combat looks fine. It does not look much better than a game they made 10 years ago. The RPG elements and the customization and the open world nature of it being a universe to explore where you have 1,000 planets, where not all of those planets are going to have stuff to do, but it is a game of resources where you need resources to build your space station and build your spaceship. So you have an almost unlimited amount of places to go and explore. And as someone who has put too many hours into No Man's Sky just exploring for fun, this is the game I've always been waiting for. This is the game I've wanted them to make since they announced it 5 years ago or whatever. Like a space game where you can go to so many planets, role play, build your ship. Like if No Man's Sky had a clear, more focused direction instead of it being Minecraft in space, this is what it'd be. And this is the game I've always wanted. And I trust them to deliver at least the RPG stuff because they've never done me dirty.
I'm very happy for you.
Hell yeah. You're not much of a... Oh, you haven't played any of these games. That's right.
I just know myself. I'm not against like playing it. I'm sure I would get a solid amount of enjoyment out of it. It's that I always have to get to these kinds of things like way later because I will not get the amount of enjoyment enough out of it at the beginning to warrant the price tag for me. Like I just won't put the time investment in.
Oh, sure, yeah. That is one thing I do love about Bethesda games is like whether you buy that game at full price or you buy it for $10, there's almost an infinite amount of content. They always deliver, which people were really bugging about them announcing there's going to be over 1,000 planets that you can explore. But you got to realize, like, my favorite game of all time is Mass Effect 2. There's an entire part of that game where you're just scanning planets. You're not even landing on them. You're scanning them for minerals so you can upgrade your weapons. I did that shit for hours because it was just fun enough, and it upgraded my stuff. Where I'm like, okay, you gave me the thing and I did it. I will very happily explore all these planets. We are at a point now in technology where you can randomly generate 1,000 planets and they all look cool and unique and different. Again, No Man's Sky has proven that for 5 years now. I am so happy that this looks. The RPG stuff looks as good as it is. Like I was hoping their combat would be better, but again, like that's like me asking like a company to do something they're just not good at. Like they focus on what you know. I'm not going to get mad if you don't make it super better. Right. Starfield coming out later. No, it got delayed. So next year.
It was. They said it was going to come out in 2022 when they announced. Well, I think it was last year when they were showing more stuff for it. And I remember all like, no.
They got rid of the 11/11/22 date, which is a great date because Skyrim came out on 11/11/11. So it is a shame that they're missing that anniversary date, but that, you know what? I'd rather the game be good.
I mean, Todd Howard, because he does like self-deprivation jokes a lot about the bugs and everything. So I'm pretty sure he's like, I need to nail this launch at the start. I can't do we can't release it'd be praised, but also then talk about bugs, because now that they got business day, Microsoft looking over their shoulder, it's like better make sure
that's
you
the thing. That's
good.
That's the big thing, Ben. Also, people need to remember that Microsoft now owns Bethesda, which means Bethesda was a studio that they were a big studio, but now that they have Microsoft help, a lot of the bugs are going to be fixed, hopefully, because Bethesda games are famously some of the buggiest games ever made, because when you have a million different options, sometimes things just get crossed and they get buggy.
Quick fun fact. So when I first bought Skyrim, I got it for super cheap on a Black Friday sale. I think for $10 for my PS4.
Mm-hmm.
This was my first time ever playing Skyrim. Never played a Bethesda game or a true Bethesda game before until this point. I loaded my PS4. I created my character, and you want to know what happened?
It crashed.
You know the scene where you're supposed to be able to leave the cart so you can go behead before the dragon swoops in?
Absolutely.
Never gave me the option.
Yep.
The button prompt never popped up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I wasted about an hour and a half very meticulously crafting my character, only to not be able to go forward, and I had to restart the whole thing all over again.
Ooh, you hate that.
That's
On the other hand, at
tragic.
least that kind of bug came right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I did start over, even though I very furiously went through my my character creation the second time. Second time, it was able to go through. I started the story, but I haven't really played Skyrim all that much.
That's okay.
I mean, to be fair, then very next week, Final Fantasy 15 came out, and guess where all my time went after that.
That's also a good game.
But Skyrim was one of those games where it's everyone tells me this is one of the best games ever made, and as I'm playing, I was like, it's cool, but I don't know. And then I'm looking at Elden Ring. I'm like, Elden Ring.
Well, Elden Ring that's not fair, because Elden Ring, it's that's like comparing Kobe Bryant to middle school athletes. It's a different ball game. It's not even.
I would say comparing Kobe Bryant to Clayton Kershaw, since they play different sports, but.
No, you got to be in the same ballpark. All right, so we got one more game, and it's certainly the sexiest game of them all. It's Scorn.
Scorn has been carefully.
I haven't seen this one.
With great attention.
The great thing about Scorn.
Everything is
oh God, what the
I'll
hell
just
is
let
that?
him talk. Actually,
atmosphere. From a unique organic ecosystem.
y'all like aliens?
To an unsettling soundscape.
Oh God.
Created by Ethek and Lustmord.
You want that Geiger shit, baby.
Scorn has no
Ben wants it.
Scorn has no dialogue.
comes from the environment.
It's
Dude, 'cause I don't hear.
It's pure
Oh.
gross shit.
Relationships.
No, because all I'm hearing, just FYI for the audio, all I'm hearing is your guys talking. I don't hear any of the audio from the videos.
Oh yeah.
But oh Lord.
Yeah, it's a gross one.
I'm ready to add this to Ben's list.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be scary or just gross.
It looks like a combination.
Gross is still good enough to put Ben through.
Oh, actually, that's true. I have a much higher tolerance than Ben does. That's very true.
Look at Ben's face right now.
This gorgeous game is coming out just in time for Spooktober. Actually, Ben, October 2022. On Game Pass, baby. On Game Pass. It's already, if you go to the Game Pass screen, it's already there to pre-download. Gross Geiger shit. You're plugging things into your belly. You're taking things out. Just like, hey guys, what's the Crimes of the Future? Surgery is the new sex.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Well, everyone,
I'm stoked to put you through that.
Hell yeah!
I'm out.
Scorn and Choo Choo Charles.
At least the first hour. Yeah. You guys said you can't hear audio of the games?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We'll figure that out next time.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because I had this clip of Black Dynamite. Well, the audience is going to be able to hear it. You told them to keep an eye out for you.
Wait, oh yeah, it's because I was like, wait, Black Dynamite, isn't it that one movie called Black Dynamite?
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Oh.
I threw that shit before I walked in the room. That's a shame you guys couldn't hear that, but all the people at home did. So, hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Wait, so is Black Dynamite getting a game?
No, I just added that for fun.
Oh, okay.
No, I
was
just wanted to throw that shit before I walked in the room. That's Summer Game Fest. That's Day of the Devs. That's Xbox Bethesda. That's all the cool indie games and some big games coming out in the next year or two. Thanks for stopping by. Any final words, friends?
Yeah. Actually, question: what if you can pick three? That's your top three. What are the ones that you know? I mean, okay, excluding Shredder's Revenge.
Well, that's already out.
Yeah. So excluding Shredder's Revenge and Neon White, because those two are out already. Which are your top three games that you are definitely that you want to get and play for yourself?
Skate Story number 1. Immediately, but that's not coming out for a while. Probably Bear and Breakfast, to be honest.
Yeah, Bear and Breakfast is so cute.
There's a lot of good games. There's a lot of good games on here.
Yeah.
Honestly, if Little Nemo were coming out sooner than like maybe 2 years, I might pick that, but I know it's not coming out anytime soon. I'm probably just gonna be the shill, and I was gonna pick Midnight Suns because like I'm so excited. I love all those spooky people. I love Lilith. She's so bad.
Sparkz, what about you?
I would say Desta, it might be on there if we got to see a little bit more, but and Little Nemo and the Guardians of Slumberland, I'm tempted. You know what? I'm just gonna say because Little Nemo, like that just looks too good to me. That's in my top 3. It's probably that and either Bear and Breakfast or Planet of Lana and Skate Story.
So my number 3 pick is going to be Goodbye World.
Goodbye.
That one looks just like so cute. It looks really great because
I love that
pixel art style. The way it's like a narrative or like a narrative. I don't want to say visual novel, but it's like a narrative where you're watching the story, then you also have to play the game. I assume you're developing with the platforming. I think that's really cool. Also, I love the art style and how how the Game Boy, the main character, I assume it's the main character, there's a big crack on the top left hand corner. So that Game Boy has been through some shit. Number 2, Cult of the Lamb. We talked about it last year. This one's been very I can't wait for this one to get out because it just looks so cute and adorable. And my number 1 is the Plucky Squire.
Yes.
Love how it goes from 2D to 3D, and it does it so seamlessly, and the art doesn't change, but the art makes it work. The 2D visuals look so bright and vibrant. It's like, man, this is great. And then the second it jumps to 3D, I'm like, no, they didn't just. Oh my god, they did.
It's very much one of those trailers where everyone who watches it is like, oh,
that was definitely me. I'm like, okay, this looks cute. Okay, and then I was like, wait, what was that? So, yeah, Plucky Squire, definitely a good game. That Cult of the Lamb and Goodbye World.
Love it.
Yeah, nice.
All right,
good list.
Well, thank you guys.
Charles, I want to stay far away from.
Oh man, you've already played it and you don't even know it. Well,
Ben's feeling the echoes from the point in time in the future where he's played Choo Charles and it's traumatized him.
The tachyons.
He's feeling it ripple back in time.
That's pretty good.
It's like that scene in Dragon Ball Z Abridged where it's like where Trunks hears like his scream from Vegeta and goes, "Daddy, Daddy." I'm just like, if you listen very quietly, you can hear me scream.
Well, none of us are screaming in pain. We're all screaming for joy with all these great games that are going to be coming out.
All these amazing games coming out. There's obviously more to come, but man, this was good. Thank you, Ryan, for putting this list together, man. This is your brainchild. I know I'm the host of Posmania, but you are the one who deserves all the credit tonight.
Hey, I just really wanted an excuse to do all this shit, and it was really fun to do. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'm going to try to do an outro. Actually, no, Ben, you just do the outro. This is your show. I'm just going to chill.
I mean, obviously, the three of us are all co-hosts of the Fake Nerd podcast. You could find us hosting that show every Sunday. You go to FakeNerdPodcast.com. Links to everything are there, to our Patreon, our TeePublic, merch. You name it, it's there. That's like the Fake Nerd podcast is Disneyland, and the website is the hub.
That's good.
So
that's good.
Go there, check everything out. Sparkz, where can people find you on the internet, my friend?
You can find me definitely donating to the Kickstarter for Little Nemo and the Guardians of Slumberland at SparkzWitty on Instagram and Twitter, SparkzWitty.
All right, Ryan, where can people find you on the interwebs?
They could find me being the God of Mischief over at DJ Tony Snark 616 all over Twitch and Instagram.
And you can find me giving trains the side eye from now on at BenMagnet27 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Yeah, I do not trust trains now. I was at Disneyland yesterday, and now when I go back, I'm going to stare at the steam engine that they have that circles the park, and I'm just going to like give it like the hard death stare now. I blame you all.
Is his name Is his name Charles?
Thank God it's not.
Nah,
They're all named after. They're not named after. They're not named after those guys.
Thank God.
What was I going to say? Yeah, so you can find me on the internet at BenMagnet27, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can also find me writing for OldSchoolGamerMagazine.com, Fusion Gaming Magazine, and Go Nintendo. And speaking of Old School Gamer, guys, you want to see something cool?
Hell yeah.
This is the cover of my first printed article with them.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so now I finally got published in America too.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Basement Arcade exclusive.
Yeah, so woohoo. Old School Gamer issue number 28. That's me.
Hell yeah, baby.
That is my first printed article with them. I've been writing for their website for over 2 years. Yeah. Progress, baby.
Time flies.
Time flies. But yeah, anyways, check out the Fake Nerd Podcast. Check out Fake Nerd Podcast on Twitter. Email us if you want to be part of the show, FakeNerdGuys@gmail.com. And until next time, Ryan, thanks again for doing this.
You got it, dude.
Unpause.